Welcome to a webcast produced by the Learning Enhancement team based in the Dean of Students office at the University of East Anglia. This webcast is part of the Steps into Numeracy series and concerns multiplying numbers. This guide introduces a general method for multiplying any two numbers together. Multiplication grids. Being able to multiply together two numbers without a calculator is a useful skill to have. You may remember long multiplication techniques you learned at school. This guide introduces a method of multiplication using a grid. This method has several advantages over long multiplication. It is highly visual and requires fewer steps than long multiplication. It is best illustrated by an example. Example. Calculate 63 multiplied by 49. Step 1. Construct a grid of squares which has the number of columns equal to the number of digits in the first number and the number of rows equal to the number of digits in the second number. As both 63 and 49 have two digits, here you construct a 2 by 2 grid, like this. Step 2. Bisect the squares diagonally from top right to bottom left. Extend these lines slightly out of the grid at the bottom left, like this. Step 3. Write the first digit of the first number at the top of the first column, the second digit of the first number at the top of the second column, and so on. Here, the first digit of the first number is 6 and is written at the top of the first column. Here, the second digit is 3 and is written at the top of the second column. Here. Next, write the first digit of the second number at the end of the first row, the second digit of the second number at the end of the second row, and so on. Here, the first digit of the second number is 4 and is written at the end of the first row. Here, the second digit is 9 and is written at the end of the second row. Here. Step 4. Fill in each square in the grid with the result of multiplying the number at the top of the column by the number at the end of the row. Each square is divided in two by a diagonal line. Tens go above the line with the units underneath. Here, the top left square has 6 at the top of the column with 4 at the end of the row. So, 6 times 4 equals 24 is inserted into the square with the 2 above the diagonal and 4 below. Similarly, 3 multiplied by 4 equals 12 is inserted into the top right square. 6 multiplied by 9 equals 54 into the bottom left, and 3 multiplied by 9 equals 27 into the bottom right. Step 5. Add up all the digits in each diagonal of the grid in turn, starting with the bottom right diagonal, and write the answer in the space provided by the extension of the diagonal line. Any tens are carried into the next diagonal sum. Here, the first diagonal has only the number 7 in it, so this is written in the space. The sum for the second diagonal is 2 plus 2 plus 4, which equals 8. The sum for the third diagonal is 1 plus 4 plus 5. So 0 is written in the space and 1 is carried over into the next sum. The sum for the final diagonal is 2 from the grid plus the 1 carried over from the third diagonal. So 2 plus 1 equals 3 is inserted. Step 6. Read anti-clockwise around the results of the sums to give the answer. The answer is highlighted in bold in the square above, so 63 multiplied by 49 equals 3087. Your answer can be checked using a calculator. Let's look at another example. Calculate 46 multiplied by 9. The multiplication grid for 46 multiplied by 9 is a 2 by 1 grid, as shown to the right. 4 goes at the top of the first column, 6 goes at the top of the second column, with 9 at the end of the row. You put the result of 4 multiplied by 9 in the left-hand box. 4 multiplied by 9 is 36. You put the result of 6 multiplied by 9 in the right-hand box. 6 multiplied by 9 is 54. Now add down the diagonals, starting with the lower right diagonal. There's only 4 in this diagonal, so 4 is written here. The next diagonal is 6 add 5, which gives 11. So 1 is written here, and the 1 from the 10 is carried over into the next diagonal here. Finally, you add 3 and 1 to make 4.
Right. Now
Read around the outside anti-clockwise so that 46 multiplied by 9 equals 414. Here's another example. Calculate 347 multiplied by 86. The multiplication grid for 347 multiplied by 86 is a 3 by 2 grid, as shown to the right. 3 is written at the top of the first column. 4 is written at the top of the second column. And 7 is written at the top of the third column. 8 is written at the end of the first row. And 6 is written at the end of the second row. 3 multiplied by 8 is 24. 4 multiplied by 8 is 32. 7 multiplied by 8 is 56. 3 multiplied by 6 is 18. 4 multiplied by 6 is 24. And finally 7 multiplied by 6 is 42. The sum of the first diagonal is 2. The sum of the next diagonal is 6 add 4 add 4, which is 14, so we write 4 and carry the 1. So the sum of the next diagonal is 5 plus 2 plus 2 plus 8 plus the 1 carried from before, which is 18. So we write 8 and carry the 1. The sum of the next diagonal is 3 plus 4 plus 1 plus the 1 from the previous diagonal, which is 9. And finally we have 2. So 347 multiplied by 86 equals 29,842. Extending the method to decimal numbers. A useful extension of this technique is that it can be used to multiply decimal numbers. This only requires a slight adjustment of the method. Let's look at this example. Calculate 3.47 multiplied by 8.6. Here you construct the grid as before and calculate the answer without the decimal points. See right. Then the decimal points are put where they appear in the numbers, ensuring that they are positioned in line with the grid lines. Your grid will be a 3 by 2, with 3 at the top of the first column, 4 at the top of the second column, and 7 at the top of the third column, 8 at the end of the first row, and 6 at the end of the second row. Fill the squares in as usual, so 3 multiplied by 8 is 24. 4 multiplied by 8 is 32. 7 multiplied by 8 is 56. 3 multiplied by 6 is 18. 4 multiplied by 6 is 24. And finally 7 multiplied by 6 is 42. You now insert the decimal points where applicable. The decimal point in the first number is between the 3 and the 4, so it is written here. Notice how it coincides with the line separating the first and second columns. The decimal point in the second number is between the 8 and the 6, and so it is written here. Notice that it coincides with the line that separates the two rows. The first diagonal just has a 2 in it, which is written here. The next diagonal is 6 plus 4 plus 4, which is 14, so we put 4 here and carry the 1. The next diagonal is 5 plus 2 plus 2 plus 8 plus the 1 carried from the previous diagonal, which is 18. So 8 goes here and we carry the 1. The next diagonal is 3 plus 4 plus 1 plus the 1 from the previous diagonal, which gives 9. And finally we have 2. Now we have to determine where the decimal point goes. Follow the grid line down from the point at the top and across from the point on the right. Where these grid lines cross, you follow the diagonal down and left to find the position of the decimal point in the answer, like so. So 3.47 multiplied by 8.6 equals 29.842. Further guidance and information. If you have any further questions about numeracy or would like to discuss any other aspects of mathematics, you can talk to your lecturer or personal advisor or make an appointment to see a learning enhancement tutor in the Dean of Students office. You can telephone 01603 592761, email dos.help@uea.ac.uk, or visit our website at www.uea.ac.uk/dos/let. There are further resources on many other aspects of numeracy, mathematics, statistics and science available from the Dean of Students office and on its website. These include questions to practice, model solutions and webcasts illustrating essential skills. This guidance is one of a series on mathematics produced by the Dean of Students office at the University of East Anglia.